Eli Gill, and Brett Morrow. So go ahead, take it away, Doug. Welcome.
Okay. Okay. Good evening. I'm proud to be first. My name is Doug Trussler, and I'm running for city council. I was born in Africa, raised in Canada, 10 years in New York City, and now 25 years in Santa Monica. Coming from Canada, a lifelong Democrat who believes in building successes to lift others up. I live in Santa Monica with my wife and two kids. My kids go to school here. My business is here. My wife's business is here. I want to retire in the city when I'm done, and I'm fully aligned with the residents of Santa Monica. I know so many Santa Monica families through my work with AYSO that supports about 2,000 kids a year in my role as a board member, commissioner, coach, referee, field manager, and safety coordinator. There is not a job within the organization from top to bottom that I haven't done. I want to fix the city for all, but particularly those 4,000 families raising young children in Santa Monica that I've come to know and love through my involvement with AYSO. As a professional, I'm the founder of a firm that focuses on building businesses that are purpose driven. I've invested in more than 100 businesses, sat on more than 50 boards, operated more than 20 businesses myself, and created thousands of jobs. I plan on taking my management experience developed over the last 35 years and applying it to fixing the city. My mission will be to reduce crime, improve homelessness outcomes, and revitalize our economy so the city has the resources to support all the initiatives that are critical to the residents, including schools, affordability, parks, and public safety. We all know the city's in financial crisis, and I'm the only candidate with the skills and experience to fix it. I want the renters and homeowners to feel safe in our city, to be able to enjoy our incredible resources on a carefree basis. And when we turn our city around to prosperity again, I want to add more programs that make the city affordable and vibrant for our residents. While I applaud the efforts of the revitalization plan, it is not a plan that I would implement. Before you invite guests to your house, you have to straighten up your house. Before we invite businesses back to our city, we need to get our house in order. I want the residents to be proud to call Santa Monica home and visitors to only wish they weren't leaving. I'm excited to pursue this mission. This is our city, and I really do love it.
All right, Doug. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And did you guys hear the little sounding thing? Was it loud enough? Okay, so I did not pick the music, by the way. Doug, thank you for going off the clock. Is Eli Gill with us yet? If not, I thought I saw Brett. Hey, Brett. Brett Morrow's here. He's works for LA County Health Department. He's the communication director. Brett, go take it away.
Eli is here as well too. I just want to give him the opportunity as well. He actually is in the room. I just want to make sure.
Oh, why don't tell you what? I'll start you over. Why don't you just go and then we'll queue
Oh,
up
okay,
Eli
great,
next.
great. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for having me. Yeah, my name is Brett Morrow. I'm a husband, father to a 3-year-old, a public servant, and a Wilmont neighborhood neighbor. Like so many, I've actually spent most of my life renting as well. So my wife was born and raised in Santa Monica and spent most of her life here. Funny enough, I always like to joke with her. Her first job was actually at the hot dog on a stick right next to the pier, which I always say is might be the most Santa Monica first job possible. But after we had our daughter, we chose to build our life here because we love this community. Its neighborhoods, its public schools, its parks, and the people who care deeply about it, many of you on this call. So, one of the main reasons why I'm running is because I don't think working families are as represented as they should be in City Hall. And you see it in decisions from previous councils. Families are leaving Santa Monica, and the biggest reasons are the cost of housing and childcare. We don't have enough family size housing, and the middle often gets left out when we talk about support. So I want to make Santa Monica a place where working families can stay and thrive. And that means more attainable housing, better support for childcare, and making sure we're planning for the people who are already here. And that lens filters down to so many other priorities, more parks, safer streets and bike lanes, cleaner public spaces, and a strong sense of safety across the city. And public service has been the focus of most in my career. I've worked in Congress as a senior staffer and communications director, and as John's mentioned a handful of times, I'm the chief communications officer for the Department of Public Health. And no shocker, in Congress, there was a little too much focus on theater. At Public Health, it's more about results. It's connecting people to services like maternal care, vaccinations, having lead-free homes, overdose prevention, and making sure people have clear, reliable information during emergencies. And
Alexa, is it pronounced spiel or
oh,
spiel?
Go ahead and take a second to finish your thought, Brett.
Okay. And I just want to say what I bring is a clear understanding of how government works and how to make it better. I focus on cutting through red tape, making systems easier to navigate, and delivering real outcomes. And I'm running because I care deeply about the city and the people who live here
All
and
right.
work here as well. So I'd be honored to have your support. Thank you. Thank you, John. Sorry for
Thanks,
taking a
Brett.
couple of extra
So
seconds.
you guys, I'm going to try to chase down some inadvertent audio there. Just give me a second, and we're going to find out who's left their mic on. And I think I know who it is. I don't see it. Maybe one of my spotters can
John,
look.
John, you can actually mute everybody,
Yeah.
and then individually unmute because
It's
How
Michelle
do I do that? How do I
Morrow.
mute
yeah,
all?
Michelle.
It might be my lovely wife. Sorry.
All right.
But John, you have the ability to mute her.
Yeah. And who is that?
Michelle Morrow.
That would be my very gorgeous, lovely wife. Unfortunately, she's
Oh, how
driving.
do I mute her? I think we're good. So, Brent, thank you very much. And let's move on. I think Eli Gill's here. Eli? He joined the meeting. I don't see if he's there. Why don't we do this? We're going to move on to Eli's got a child care issue, and he's going to try to slide in there. Eli, are you with us? I don't think so.
In the chat, he says not ready.
Okay, thank you very much. So let's do this. Let's go to Derek Townsend's here, I believe. Derek, are you here?
Yep, I'm here.
Yeah, I'm going to call Derek Townsend, and then
Can you
wait.
try to mute that because we can't. I don't know about others, but it makes it difficult
Yeah,
to
it's very
hear.
It sure is. Let me see if I can
John,
mute
go
all.
ahead and try to do what we were going to do before the meeting because I just signed in and you might be able to do that now. Just go down and hover over my name under participants.
Yeah, let me see. Yeah, let me see if I
It
can
should
grab.
work now.
It may work. I think the problem's solved, but I still kind of want to do this anyway. Just hang on 1 second, folks, because maybe it didn't work. I'm looking for you, Rach.
Okay.
Rachel's she's a Wilmont board member and one of our spotters. There you are. And there's the little 3 dots, and it says make host.
I didn't realize like how far I was until I see it. I'm like, whoa. Oh my God.
Does anyone know how to mute all? Let me see if I can't.
Is
mute
there a
all.
more button down there? Participants.
Hey,
Yeah, let me
John, there
see.
should be a mute all button. If you go to participants, then on the bottom of the participants block, you'll see a mute all button.
Yes.
Only the host can see that though.
Mute all. I see it. Okay. I'm going to mute all. Thank you.
I will watch again.
Way to go, John Katz.
All right. So I just muted everybody. So let's do this. I'm going to call up, looks like, well, Danny's here. How about Derek and then Wade Kelly and then Daniel Ivanov? Derek, you ready to go? 1 second. Let me get my clock here. 1 moment, please. There's the timer. You ready to go? Derek is an occupational therapist with Kaiser Permanente, I believe. Welcome, Derek. Go, you have to unmute.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Derek Townsend. Yes, for the last 18 years, I've worked in healthcare as a certified aging in place specialist while earning my master's degree at LSU Health Science Center. I also launched a marketing and event firm in New Orleans, which worked with the likes of Uber, Red Bull, MTV, House of Blues, and many others. Post-Hurricane Katrina, in the midst of despair of New Orleans, some partners and I built 3 successful bars, diners, and restaurants. The concept went from idea to brick and mortar all the way through. I've since invested and helped build a tequila company that has grown from 3 cities to 22 countries. I understand business from the ground up, the risk, the challenges, and what it takes to succeed. I've also known loss. I lost my brother to a fentanyl overdose when he was at the age of 23. And that's the passion where my passion to run for office is coming from. In Santa Monica, we know the issues. We do not have a housing shortage. We have a mental illness and a drug problem. I propose we mandate care for those in severe drug and mental health crisis via SB 43 and funding Prop 36. It will make our city safer and more business friendly. I also believe we should repeal our most recent sales tax increases, as well as return the parking to free for 90 minutes. No one will invest here if they can't trust the city will not increase their taxes and fees, as well as destroy the parking near their businesses in the future. We must build stable organic tax base by earning businesses trust that Santa Monica can be a place they can grow for the long term. Leaders that will help them thrive. How will the world's tourists see us over the next 3 years? Vacant? Look, we can blame the past for so much, but we have to start blaming leadership and the policies that have gotten us here. I also oppose the parcel tax and any tax that doesn't have a sunset date within 4 years. And I also oppose AB 1740. Santa Monica shores are not for sale. The upcoming events over the next few years will bring money to the city.
Sorry, Derek, there's time. Finish a thought,
sorry.
10 seconds.
Anyway, I also think there's enough space to maintain a functioning airport and room to increase park space. We should maintain the functional airport for safety reasons, as well as create an industrial and engineering school to partner with SMCC to create new businesses and industry.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it, Derek. Let's move on to Wade Kelly. Wade, you're here. Wade ran in 2 years ago. I'm going to reset the clock. Wade, how you doing? You got to unmute, Wade. You got to unmute, Wade.
Oh,
there you go. Go ahead. You got 2 minutes, Wade.
great. Thank you. Hello, my name is Wade Kelly, and I am running for Santa Monica City Council to stand up for human rights. I am a peaceful protester, and I used to perform on the promenade. Now I peacefully protest and stand up for the human rights of people because I've seen the way that Santa Monica has treated its homeless population for a very long time. And, you know, last year, 72% of all the arrests in Santa Monica were of homeless human beings. Less than 1% of the population was arrested 72% of the time. That is cruel and inhumane. At the same time, Santa Monica has failed to build affordable housing. They've built like 2% of the planned housing, affordable housing for this cycle. You know, you can't end homelessness and the housing crisis by criminalizing homelessness and unhoused. You need to stand up for human rights. That's why I want everybody to get behind the Great Park and Community Housing Initiative to build 3,000 units of housing on 44 acres of land and still leave 148 acres for a great park. That's a pretty great park, isn't it? And we need all of our leaders to move forward. This realignment program is only making things worse. It is pushing more homeless people out of the city instead of bringing in, they don't even have a number of how many homeless residents are in Santa Monica. They can't even agree on that at this point. So we need to stand for human rights. We need to also get behind the Billionaire Tax Act of 2026 here in California and human rights. Thank you. Peace, love.
All right. Thanks, Wade. I appreciate you and appreciate you keeping the time. So I'm going to call a couple more names. There's Daniel Ivanov, and the mayor is joining us. Mayor Carolyn Terosas is here. I think I saw Lana popped up. So those are 3 people in the queue. Daniel's up next with Mayor Terosas, followed by former Mayor Lana Negretti, and then Ashley Olson. So without further ado, we're back. Annie, welcome to the meeting. You got 2 minutes. Hi.
Hi, good evening, everyone. First of all, thank you for giving me the opportunity to introduce myself and address the membership. My name is Danny Ivanov. I'm an attorney and currently serve as the chair of the Rent Control Board. And I just wanted to provide a little bit of background on me. I've been in Santa Monica now for more than 5 years. I'm a first-generation American and was born and raised in Chicago. My parents immigrated to this country from Ukraine as refugees with $20 to their name. They each worked multiple minimum wage jobs for years and eventually scrapped just enough money together to move into a modest townhome in the best public school district in the state so that I could get a world-class education. Just one generation later, their son is an attorney and a candidate for public office. And that's why I'm running. I'm running because that level of social mobility that we've come to expect, that concept that we expect to do well, but we expect our kids to do better, we're losing that. And we're losing that in Santa Monica in an even more profound way than other parts of the country, given our cost of living. Everyone on this call knows it. Everyone on this call feels it. And most importantly, everyone on this call knows that we deserve better. If elected, I'm going to be laser focused on 3 issues. Tackling our cost of living and affordability challenges. 2, it seems like every day now we hear about a new business that's shuttering its doors. We have to be focused on economic development, revitalizing our promenade, Santa Monica Place, our commercial corridors, supporting our small businesses, and just in general, creating a climate that's accessible to doing business in our city so that we can attract the kind of investment we need to finally get our city's finances back to pre-pandemic levels. Lastly, public safety. We have to ensure clean and safe neighborhoods so our residents feel safe. My experience in local government comes with a track record of results, not just rhetoric. With my public service, involvement in this community, and legal skill set, I'll be an effective council member who can hit the ground running and start getting things done on day one. Again, thanks for the opportunity to address the membership, and I hope to earn your support as the campaign progresses. Thank you.
Great timing, Danny. I appreciate you keeping the time. Thank you very much. So I think Eli Gill has arrived. So I'm going to slip him in now. I think he had a little childcare thing. Eli, you with us?
Yeah, let me unmute there.
Okay, so hang on one second. So Eli is a housing advocate and running for council. Eli, you got 2 minutes. Welcome.
I wouldn't call myself a housing advocate. I'm a Santa Monica advocate. Good evening, everybody. Thank you to the Wilmont Neighborhood Coalition for hosting tonight. I really appreciate the opportunity to speak with all of you. My name is Eli Gill. I've lived in Santa Monica for more than 20 years, and my family has called the Wilmont neighborhood home for the last decade. My 2 kids attend Roosevelt and Lincoln, so I experience this city every day, not just as a resident, but as a parent deeply invested in our schools, neighborhoods, and future. I'm running because I believe Santa Monica can once again be the best place in California to raise a family, build a business, and enjoy a great quality of life. But that requires the city government focus on delivering real results for our residents. I spent most of my career in business operations, helping organizations solve problems, improving systems, and delivering better results. That's how I believe local government should work too. Less political theater, more focus on execution and accountability. I mostly bike and walk around Santa Monica, and some of my earliest local advocacy focused on making our streets safer. After a tragic car on bike crash at 19th and Idaho in 2023, I helped push the city to convert all the dangerous 2-way intersections in Wilmont into 4-way stops. Residents had raised concerns for years, but the city kept saying no. I dug into the rules, found where the city had discretion, and pushed them to act. Like many Santa Monica residents, I've spent most of my adult life living in rent-controlled apartments. I know the frustrations of negligent landlords, deferred maintenance, and buildings that are falling apart, while tenants struggle to get basic issues addressed. We have strong renter protections on paper, but enforcement is too often slow and ineffective. On council, I'll work to make sure landlords are held accountable and renters are treated fairly. I want a Santa Monica where families can afford to stay, renters are treated fairly, small businesses can thrive, and our public spaces are clean, safe, and welcoming. I'm not interested in performative politics, I'm interested in outcomes. Great schools, safe spaces, housing people can afford, and a vibrant local economy and a government that works. I'd be honored to earn your support, and thank you.
Look at that. That was simply amazing. Thank you, Eli, for being right on time. You guys are, I guess all those council meetings are getting everybody ready for their 2 minutes.
Well trained on 2 minutes for sure.
Yeah, thank you very much. So next up is Mayor Carolyn Torosis, and then former Mayor Lana Negretti, and then Ashley Olson. Mayor, are you ready to go? And
Sure.
welcome.
Thanks, John. Hi, everyone. I'm Carolyn Torosis, your mayor and city council member, and of course, I'm running for re-election. Over 3 years ago, Santa Monica needed leadership that would actually deliver, and that's exactly what we've done. On public safety, violent crime and burglary are down 12.5%. Arrests are up 22.8%. We are prosecuting 88% of legally fileable cases, and we are opening a brand new downtown police substation. And our police department has reached full sworn staffing for the first time in over 20 years. Our therapeutic transport team has handled over 300 mental health crisis calls last year, and Samo Bridge has helped people get off of our streets, connecting over 400 people to housing and services rather than jail. For businesses and homeowners, permit plan checks are being completed on time at a 42% higher rate. We've established a $3 million economic development fund to revitalize downtown. We've expanded our housing pipeline by 4,000 units. Downtown is rebuilding with refreshed streets and tree canopy, and our libraries are fully reopened for the first time since COVID. And Santa Monica is becoming a destination again. The Santa Monica International Jazz Festival is happening right now. This September, we are welcoming a major beach festival to our shores. We are entering a float in the Rose Parade. We have already secured partnerships with countries for Olympic hospitality houses, with more announcements coming. And next year, the Super Bowl live broadcast activation comes to Santa Monica. This city is on the map in a way that it hasn't been for years. And for the renters in Wilmont, as a former chair of the Rent Control Board, we have passed the strongest tenant protection ordinances in the state. We have implemented right to counsel so tenants facing eviction have legal representation. We've expanded preserving our diversity program, and our affordability agenda is tackling everyday costs, tips going fully to workers, fee transparency, and food affordability. Santa Monica's best days are ahead of us, but this progress requires steady leadership to continue. I have the support of Senator Ben Allen, the LA Orange County Building Trades, Stonewall Democratic Club, Westside Young Democrats, 6 former mayors, 5 of my current colleagues, our county assessor, and many community leaders, and I'm asking for your support. Thanks so much.
All right, Mayor, you owe me 15 seconds at the next meeting, right? So,
Okay, I'll give it to you.
yeah. So thank you very much, Mayor. And next up, we have Lana Negretti, the former mayor, and then Ashley Olson, and then let me call it another. And then you guys keep it. Can some of you keep an eye out for Angela Scott? She may be able to take a 5-minute break from her meeting that's underway right now and step out, and I'll fit her in when I see her. But let just somebody holler if you see Angela Scott, then I'll squeeze her in. Anyways, hello, Lana, and
Hi.
welcome to the Wilmont. And you got 2 minutes.
All right, thank you. Hopefully you can hear me. I'm Lana Negrete. I'm running for re-election because I'm not done yet. So most of you know me already, but I'm born and raised in Santa Monica. I'm a renter living in rent control, grew up in rent control in Ocean Park, lived in a few zip codes in this city, and have 4 girls, 2 who are at Santa Monica High School. I want to be clear about my track record. On public safety, I supported from day one, helping put together the peer task force when we had issues in and around our piers and beaches. That group has now evolved into a protective street team addressing quality of life issues and crime around the downtown area and expanded across our city. That's real action you can see. On homelessness, I worked on solutions that balance compassion with accountability, but I've been honest about what needs to be done. I've partnered with our fire department early on to support the APU vans that we're now seeing. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Someone is calling me during this. And I've supported policies like sit and lie ordinances to give police officers tools to keep sidewalks clear when it wasn't the most glamorous thing to do on the council, because doing nothing is not compassionate. On business, this is personal. My family has had a business for over 56 years in Santa Monica. I've used my personal experience to get things done, worked with businesses, created roundtables, worked with the chamber, supported outdoor entertainment, cutting red tape, streamlining services through technology and waiving fees where we can, because we should be rolling out the red carpet for businesses not putting up red tape. On transparency, I've made City Hall open. Besides creating the People's Academy, I've created my video updates and my newsletters that I give you every week a look into what we are doing, because I feel that City Hall is for everybody, and I'm not about to gatekeep it. I will continue to be transparent and speak for the people. I'm not going to give you a list of organizations because the only support that matters is you, the residents. So I hope you'll support me in this next election.
Wow, that was 2 minutes exactly, council member.
With an interrupted phone call from my husband in the other room, which he's going to pay for that later, Louie.
No, but thank you for being here. Just anybody see Angela Scott in the room? Thanks, Lana. So let's move next to Ashley Olson, and then we'll have Erica Leslie if Erica's here. If Erica, if you're here, just say, hey, I'm here. There were some people
Hey,
had.
I'm here.
Oh, good. Okay, gotcha. So No sign of Angela Scott. So why don't we go ahead with Ashley Olson and then with Erica Leslie, and we'll see if Angela Scott can make it, and then we'll go move to Q&A. And thank you. Ashley, go ahead.
Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Ashley Olson. I'm a mother, a biologist, a renter, and your commissioner for sustainability and environmental justice, and former chair of Clean Oceans and Beaches Oversight Committee. My platform is built around what I call a sustainable community, grounded in three pillars: a sustainable environment, sustainable city finances, and sustainable streets. A sustainable environment means considering environmental impacts in every council decision while working alongside businesses, not against them. Fiscal sustainability means keeping the city financially stable and making smart, responsible decisions with taxpayer money and policies to support business in our community. Sustainable streets, it means confronting the homelessness with measurable outcomes, real accountability, and meaningful connections to care for vulnerable individuals. This also includes supporting our police and enforcing laws. I'm strongly opposed to AB 1740. If passed, it sets a precedent to dismantle the Coastal Act statewide, and we already have mechanisms in place to address the pain points for new businesses, outdoor dining, and the events the city is planning. My roots in Santa Monica run deep, with family residing here for over 60 years. I've showed up at City Hall, on our beaches, and in our neighborhoods. I raised my child here. I pay rent here. I face the same housing pressures as most people. Renters have been the fabric of the city, and despite the catchy mantra of affordability, the policies moving through this council are not producing the outcomes that support that promise. For example, I worry about the 3,000 seniors facing possible eviction in the near future. I bring scientific experience, civic service, and zero conflicts of interest. And in closing, I'd just like to say that our coastline defines this city. It supports our economy, creates jobs, and shapes our identity. When we fail to protect it, we diminish not only our environment, but the spirit and the vitality of Santa Monica itself. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me anytime. I'm always happy to hear. Thank you.
Ashley, thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate you being here. And let's move now to Erica Leslie, who is a member of Mid-City Neighbors and a member of the Rent Control Board. You with us still, Erica?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so I'm just trying to find you. I'm trying to find you.
I'm here.
Okay, so I'll just give you 2 minutes and go right ahead.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Erica Leslie, and I'm grateful to be here with you tonight. I'm here because I believe in this community. I've raised my children in this community. I believe in our shared values and in our ability to move forward together. I've had the honor of serving the city as your elected commissioner on the Santa Monica Rent Control Board. And that experience has only deepened my belief in what this community can be when we work together. Because when you really look around, we all see many of the same things. We see seniors who have given so much to this city, and we want them to be able to stay. We see families working hard every day, and we want that work to be enough. We see small businesses that give Santa Monica its character, and we want them to succeed. And we see neighbors who need support, and we want a city who shows up for them. We may not always agree on every solution that's real, and that's part of any strong community. But I believe we share something deeper, a commitment to this city and a desire to see it thrive. Whether you supported me from the beginning or still making up your mind or see things differently, my commitment is the same: to serve this entire community with respect, transparency, and accountability. Because everyone who calls Santa Monica home deserves to be heard and deserves a seat at the table. And that means leadership has the responsibility to listen carefully, to bring people together, and to make decisions that reflect this whole community, not just one perspective. That's the kind of leadership I'm committed to. Because the future of Santa Monica isn't built by one group alone. It's built by all of us. The people who built this city deserve the chance to continue thriving in it. And I believe we can get there together. I'm asking you for your support and your vote. Let's move forward together and build a Santa Monica we all can believe in. Thank you.
Well, guys, I really appreciate. Thank you, Erica, very much. And we've heard from 10 candidates, and everyone's been on their best behavior, and I'm so happy. So if Angela, I'm looking for Angela Scott because I wanted to try to get her in. If she's not available, she's she might not be
John,
able
I
to make
think
it.
that there's a Public Safety Reform Oversight Commission right now, if I'm
Yeah,
not mistaken. Yeah.
yeah, there is. And she said, I suggested maybe she break away for 5 minutes and let me know, but she hasn't. But thank you. So why don't we just move on? And if she shows up, I'll give her 2 minutes, just like I gave everybody else. So here's what we're going to do. We got about 15 minutes left for Q&A. And, because I have other stuff on the agenda. So this is what I want to do. I'm going to ask the first question, and I'm going to ask it of the two people who are right in office currently, because they're the ones that might actually have to decide or vote on something. But uh, AB 1740 is a real controversial issue. You may have seen the articles in the daily press and the response from Dan Hall and stuff. And I think the mayor and former mayor have both said how they feel about this. So I want to just ask both of you a minute each for a response. How do you stand on AB 1740? And do you support it or not? And why or why not? And I'll give the mayor the crack. And
Yeah.
if one second, Mayor, but if there's a candidate that wants to ask a question of another candidate or make a comment, because I've only asked the question of two people, then go ahead and raise your hand like you would at a normal Zoom meeting, because I want to give priority to the people that are running over people, residents, and therefore. So, Mayor, how do you stand on 1740?
Yeah, I mean, look, I think this is a really tough one. And I just want to say, our city staff has been working on getting an approved local coastal plan through the Coastal Commission for over a decade. It's been really, really challenging. We absolutely hold the sanctity of the Coastal Act front and center. And we are not asking for any sort of exemption from the Coastal Act. We are just asking for something that fully interprets the Coastal Act in a way that helps us facilitate some of these major events, economic revitalization, bus only lanes, bike lanes, etc. And so I think the bill has been actually great because it's been a starting point for us to have a discussion with the Coastal Commission and restart those discussions around our local coastal plan, because we have, as I mentioned in my remarks, several major events coming to our coast that we are going to need coastal development permits for. And it's a very time-intensive process. So we're actively working to reach an outcome here that's in the best interest of the city. And that's really all I can say at this point.
Okay, so thank you, Mayor. Former Mayor Negretti, how do you feel about AB 1740?
Yeah, I'm just gonna be really direct. I said it at the last meeting. I think everything up until the housing part I liked about the bill. I do think that when it comes to allowing for outdoor dining, the length of time it can take a business or a restaurant to open in our downtown area, even things like small cul-de-sacs trying to get parking permits because people are sleeping in their cars just a few blocks east of the beach. I think that there needs to be reform within Coastal Commission on those issues because it doesn't help support our economy. However, when it comes to housing, my fear is, much like my friend Ray Jackson said from the Coastal Commission, if we leave it up to 4 votes on a Tuesday, we could potentially see 20-story units up and down Ocean Avenue. And that is my concern. The Coastal Commission exists for a reason, to allow access to the beach. And so we have to remember, it doesn't look like Miami here because we have the Coastal Commission, and they don't have that in Florida. And so while I understand that a local coastal plan has taken some time, I do not support AB 1740 in its current form.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Lana. So you guys now, are there any candidates that want to weigh in on this issue? Go ahead and raise your hand, and maybe I can give you a minute to respond on AB 1740. Ashley, yeah, you know how to do the computer. Yeah, there it goes. All right. So Ashley's first. You have a minute, Ashley. Go ahead.
Thank you. I spoke with the Coastal Commission today on the LCP certification, which is kind of the thing that's up in the air and been debated by Zabur's office and the city of Santa Monica and the Coastal Commission with all different stories. And my understanding, or what was shared with me, was that in 2020, after spending a few years working on the LCP application with the Coastal Commission, that they pulled it without any notice and after spending over $400,000 of taxpayer money to get this certification. I wasn't given any more details than that, but that was the absolute definitive answer when I spoke with them earlier today. So I just wanted to throw that into the conversation.
All right. Well, thank you. Anybody else have a question for one of the candidates? You can go ahead and raise your hand. I'm looking around and I don't see a lot of takers. Also, well, Wade Kelly wants to weigh in. He's a candidate. Okay, Wade, hang on 1 second. I'm going to get there. You have 1 minute, Wade. But first you have to unmic, okay? Unmute. There you go, baby.
Thank you.
Good? Go ahead.
I am for whatever will help bring about more housing to Santa Monica. They started talking about building affordable housing complex on 4th Street near Arizona in 2018. It is now 2026, and those are pickleball courts there with a pickleball store right next door. That could be 122 units of affordable housing right there on 4th Street. And people in the community have sued the city. The business owners sued the city to keep it from happening. Whatever is going to help push us forward, because if you're criminalizing homelessness and at the same time you're suing the city about building any affordable housing, we need some help from any source available.
All right, Wade. Well, thank you for your comments. You guys, I'm gonna, John Medlin, a resident, has raised his hand. If you have a question for one of the candidates, go ahead and raise yours. I want to add a little story. About 8 or 9 years ago, when I was the chair of the Recreation and Parks Commission, the city was seeking to get Coastal Commission approval for the City Hall Annex building, as well as the new Early Child Lab School that's now next to historic Belmar Park. And at the time, they sought permission from only those 2 projects, and they left the field, the civic field, which is now historic Belmar Park. They left it out of the ask. And as they were, that we ended up really kind of rallying, and the city eventually did go to the Coastal Commission, and it was approved. The field was approved and built, but the city had left Santa Monica, had left the field out of the local coastal plan they were going to show to the Coastal Commission. And that was about 8 or 9 years ago. So it was either inadvertent or whatever, but it was left out of the coastal plan. And since then, the city still does not have a local coastal plan that's been approved by the Coastal Commission, because for whatever reason, the Coastal Commission has not gone along with what the city is asking for in their local coastal plan. So it's, I don't know about this bill. It sounds to me like, if it takes 10 years to get something and you still don't have it, what do? You find another way to get there. I don't know, but that's just my opinion. John, you have a question for one of the candidates. And remember, I'm going to give you 30 seconds to ask that question. And I got a little stopwatch here. I'll just do it. And go ahead, John, ask your question.
Yes, I have questions. A number of years. Each of you have lived in the city of Santa Monica, not your family, but you have lived in the city of Santa Monica. Tressa said 25 years. Ivanov said 5. Gil said 14, and Lana said over 40. What about the other 6 of you?
I've lived here. Oh,
go ahead.
I've lived here for 14 years since I graduated from law school, so my entire adult life. Thank you.
Any other candidates?
I just want to correct. I've been here for 22 years.
22 years. Hi, Eli.
Right after college, I moved here from UCLA.
Anybody else? Brett?
7 years here from Derek. 7 years.
Sarek from 7 from Derek. Brett?
I'm the newbie. I've been here 2 years.
2 years. Anybody else? I know Lana's been here forever.
I've been
Ashley,
here
how
for
you doing?
20 years.
Not
20
90
years?
years though. Someone said 90. I'm not that old. I'm 46. I was born here
Yeah.
in 1979.
Well, if you've been here for 90 years, more power to you. I want to know what you're doing to stay alive. Anybody else?
Yes. I have been, hello?
Yeah, Wade, just go ahead. How many years here?
I have been coming here since 1989.
Okay, gotcha. Thank you. I appreciate that.
But I am a homeless human being here in Santa Monica. I got my
Wade, I just asked a quick question. How long have you been here? And you've answered it. So we're going to move on. Okay. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And I'm going to mute you. Thank you. So let's go to John. Thank you for that question. Wendy Dembo, a Wilmont board member, has a question. And Wendy, if you might say something like, "I have a question for blah or blah," and then you got 30 seconds to ask it, starting right about now. But you have to unmic first. Wendy, you have to unmic. There you go. Okay, so
I
you
have.
30
Thank
seconds.
you, John. I'm just concerned about the Great Park. I'd like to know what people think about adding housing to the Great Park. If that's going to be something that you support or don't support, and why.
That's a really good question. I'm just going to go. Thanks, Wendy, for that question. I'm just going to go along the screen as I see people. Brett, do you favor housing at the airport? Yes or no?
I do not favor housing at the airport. I would like to see a great park. I want it all park. I think that that's beneficial to working families and it's beneficial to people's health as well.
All right, thank you. And Danny, how do you feel about housing at the airport?
No, the only thing I'm committed to at this point is closing the airport per the terms of Measure LC by December 31st, 2028. And then let's get that done first. And then let's have a community conversation about what comes after.
All right, so Derek, you'll have to unmute. Go ahead and weigh in if you'd like. And then Doug Trustler.
I'm for maintaining the airport and splitting it into also parts of park.
Like you want to keep the airport open?
Correct, but no housing, yes.
I got you. Doug, how do you feel?
Well, as a youth sport advocate, we desperately need more sporting facilities. So I'm for all park, no housing.
I got you. Now, what about Councilmember Negretti?
All park, no housing.
Mayor Terosis.
I have said it publicly, all park, no housing. I do not support any ballot initiative to either keep the airport open or put housing at the airport. I am looking forward to closing the airport and having our great park.
All right, thank you. Ms. Olson.
No housing at the park, all park.
Erica Leslie, you have to unmic if you're still on there. How do you feel about housing at the airport?
I think what we really need to do is concentrate on closing the airport in the first place. We got a lot of things going on and we're making it worse by arguing over what we're going to do with it.
Now, is there anybody else that I might have missed? Any candidate that wants to weigh in? Throw your hand up there and I'll call you.
My hand is up, John.
Where are you?
Eli, right here.
Eli, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead and comment.
Yeah, I agree. It's time for a great park to be a park with no housing inside of it, and I'd love to see a concert venue there because I'm tired of driving to the Hollywood Bowl.
Okay, thank you. And finally, Wade Kelly. Wade, how do you feel? Yes or no?
As a member,
housing or no?
As a member of the GS Resident Oversight Committee, I've seen how hard it is for any housing to get built, and I am for building 3,000 units on the 44 acres. That's called the Great Park and community housing.
Got it, Wade. I appreciate your candid comments. So now there's Amy and Daniel Charnay. Amy, you got a quick question for some of the candidates? Go ahead.
I do, actually. I've heard from a reliable source who is participating this evening that SMER is opposed to adopting a heat resiliency county measure, which is intended to protect residents from their apartments being hotter than 83 degrees. So I'm interested in the position that the candidates have on the city adopting the county measure.
Okay, so just quickly now, just repeat the question so everybody can hear it once and understand it.
Okay, I'm going to try. What is your position on adopting the county heat resilience measure to protect tenants, especially people like me in older buildings?
Okay, so thank you very much for that question. It's a good environmental question. I'm going to try to go backwards. Eric, are you still with us?
Yes,
Uh, yeah. How do you feel about what Amy asked?
I would support that measure.
Yeah. Okay. And I'm just going to go. I'm going to just go along and try to get there. Eli, how do you feel? You have to. You have to. There you go.
Sorry, my kids were yelling. What was the issue I missed?
Can I
It was
clarify real quick?
no.
Is it it's an existing measure and all the city has to do is to adopt it, but SMER is opposed to it.
Does
So I'm
anyone else want
concerned
to
about
weigh in?
that.
Gotcha. Does anyone else want to weigh in on
yeah,
that?
I'm
Okay.
for it. I work with the elderly every day in their homes, and some of them have very strict issues with the heat, and I'm for it. So
Okay. Brett, you want to comment about that issue or?
Yeah, similarly, I'm for it. I mean, this is a county measure that's important and will mitigate some heat issues. And just to echo what Derek said, it's a big issue for a lot of elderly on top of that as well. In addition, I'd love to hear more from the SMER folks about what their issues may be, and we have to talk to a lot of our community partners. So I'm open to
All
having that
right. Thank you very
conversation.
much. Danny, then Lana, and then Mayor Trosis.
Yeah, Amy, I'll be honest with you. I think I want to do a little more research on this issue. I'm curious to hear why SMER would oppose it if it's already been passed by the county. But I have your email, so I'll be happy to look into it and let you know my thoughts.
Lana, how do you feel? Go ahead and unmute. Sorry.
Sorry. I definitely support it. I live in a rent-controlled apartment with paper-thin walls. It's not just elderly people who suffer, it's families. We've had kids have near sweat attacks and heat strokes in our apartment because our apartment's built in the 50s or 60s. So we do have cooling centers, but this would be treating heat like an emergency and looking at things like air conditioning for older buildings and messaging
Okay.
alerts and things like that. Some of the stuff we
All right.
already do.
Okay. So you're for it, Mayor?
Yeah,
Then
I'm
Ashley?
absolutely yeah, I'm absolutely for it. I would just say that the city and I think I actually put out some information on this. We launched a REACH program in December of this past year, 2025. So we have free portable heat pump HVAC units and other appliances that we can provide to renters in the interim. I will just say that the maximum indoor temperature that the county passed is 82 degrees. Of course, we need to be having a maximum indoor temperature ordinance, period. We just need to make sure that there's sufficient like electrical upgrades in all of these buildings, and we're providing support to our small mom and pop landlords to do these upgrades. But of course, our renters should not have to live in apartments that are above 82 degrees, period.
Okay. Thank you. And I think Doug, do you have an opinion on this?
Yeah, I don't think we should torture our elderly.
Okay. Anybody else? Any other candidates? Wade, okay, you got 15 seconds.
Yes, I it sounds like I would be for it. And, as the climate scientists say, it's going to keep getting hotter. So we're going to need to build more housing near the coast, near our Pacific Ocean. That's why we need to get behind the Great Park and Community Housing Initiative.
All right. Thanks, Wade. Anybody else? Did I skip somebody? So there's Daniel Charnay. Is it Charnay or Charnay? I should
It's
ask you that.
whatever you want, John.
No. It's your name. It's Charnay, right?
No, it's Charney.
Charney. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so you have a question for some of the
I
candidates?
do. I would like to know how they view and feel about transparency with positions, policies, and situations where the public is not involved and we find out a year later. And of note is 413 Ocean, 825 Ocean, this current situation with Zabur on 1740. There's so much legalese, gobbledygook going on about all this, the taking away of the voices of the community groups, the cutting people's
Daniel, I
voices
got it. I
down.
got it. I got the question. How do you guys feel about transparency when it comes to some of these controversial issues like though that housing proposal on Ocean Avenue and say something like AB 1740? Anybody want to take? Is Eric? Do you want to answer that question or?
Yeah, no, I'm for full transparency as well as decreasing censorship on really any neighborhood groups, parents, or anyone else. So I'm
All right.
full
Thank
transparency.
you. And Danny Ivanhoe, how do you feel? How do you feel about transparency, and why?
Well, obviously we need to have full transparency uh, on every issue as much as we can. I think with that Ocean Avenue project, obviously that was unique in terms of the county was not communicating with the city, and there's disagreement about who knew what when. I think that's a unique issue that was pertained to that specific project, but in general, everybody should always be advocating for full transparency on every issue. Absolutely.
Got it. So I got Eli Gill in the queue, then Brett Morrow, then Wade. You guys, 15, 20 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know anyone who would say that they're against transparency, but I definitely agree that we should be as transparent as we legally can be in government and also, involve the community in big decisions.
All right, Brett.
Full in favor of transparency, obviously, but in addition to transparency, there needs to be real community outreach for folks as well too, so you can get actual input from the community.
Okay, so I'm just going down to there's Doug, there's Lana, there's and then the mayor. How about that, Doug?
I can go. I mean, obviously, we in the private sector are held to a much different standard. Transparency is everything. If I wasn't transparent, I wouldn't have a job. So I'd like to see that same standard applied to public officials.
All right, thank you. And Lana, how do you feel about transparency?
Well, hopefully most people know exactly how I feel. I make sure that I provide you guys with a weekly update, and my whole goal is to pull back the curtain, and City Hall is your house. Also, please don't forget to call on Ashley Olson. You missed her in the last round.
Oh, I did. Sorry. Mayor?
Yeah, I of course believe in transparency. I believe in telling everyone to the extent that we legally can. I think I would just say all of our communications are the public record. And to that point, I just want to commend Councilmember Negrete. I think we're doing a really important engagement process right now around operating our own coordinated entry system and continuum of care for all homeless services to control the throughput in Santa Monica. I think this is because of feedback from community members, and like Mr. Morrow said, it's really important that you're not just giving information, but you're actually doing real community engagement, and so that's what our staff is engaged in right now.
All right, thank you. And is Ashley still with us?
Yes,
I know
I'm here.
Yeah, Ashley, I apologize for skipping you. So transparency first, and then the climate question afterwards. Okay.
Yes, I definitely believe in transparency. I think it's one of the things that I've been most vocal about. And I encourage everybody to read documents when they're out there, to read and make a decision yourself. And when those records are out there. And as for climate, yes, I'd absolutely support that measure for heating limitations, and with a warmer summers and hotter summers for greater lengths of the year, I think it's important that people are cool and relaxed and comfortable.
All right, then, I think Wade wants to weigh in. 15 seconds, Wade, on transparency.
Yes, I'm for it. And I want to find out why the police department approaches a lot of these homeless people. They need to be more transparent. And with the Samo Bridge program and also the Samo Shell program there, I tried to go and visit that place. They want to shut it down, and now they want to ship more homeless people to the city of Bell.
All right. Thanks, Wade. So here's the deal, guys. We're running over time, so I'm gonna cut the council part of it there, and so we can move on to some of the other items on our agenda. I do want to mention that when it comes to AB 1740, I think some of the neighborhood groups, including Wilmont, have sent a letter opposing that bill. I think Wilmont, NOMA, I believe Northeast Neighbors sent the first one, and I believe FOSP is also in support of or against that AB 1740. So with that, I want to thank all the candidates for showing up here tonight. It was a really good turnout, and we'll keep the discussion going, and we'll try to keep these meetings election oriented, even though we have certain things that we can and cannot do. We're still going to find ways to make it an impactful meeting. And I just want to thank all 10 or 11 of you who showed up here tonight and talked to voters. Appreciate it. So with that, we're going to move on to the former Pally House Hotel is now bought and sold by somebody else. And I think we have there's Laura Wilson and her husband Matt. They if you don't know what a Pally House is, it's on like 3rd and Washington. And it's right next door where Laura and Matt live is the apartment building where they live. And it also happens to be, I believe, the apartment building that they found Whitey Bulger in. Is that correct, Laura?
No,
No, but it was close by, right?
it's across the street. Wardy
Oh,
Bulger's house was across the street.
Oh, okay. Well, anyways, a famous neighborhood. Anyways, so tell me a little bit. So for 10 years now, you've been complaining to the Pally House about noise issues, not only to the hotel, but to the city. And years ago, the city essentially allowed this apartment building to become a hotel. And so what's new? Somebody new bought it, and now you're sort of in the fight all over again.
Okay, so let's just talk about transparency to start with that building. That building, we did not know it was being converted. We lived there for almost 30 years. We did not know that building was being converted into a hotel until we saw a liquor license application out in the front. So that was all done behind closed doors with no public process, no conversion at all. Just one day, all of a sudden we see a liquor license application. So of course, I try to figure out what's going on. I find out that it's turning into a hotel and they want to get a liquor license. We fought the liquor license. It took us 7 months to do it. We had almost 50 residents show up to a planning commission meeting, and we got a 7-0 vote that there would be no liquor there. And then we were also told there would be no open restaurant to the public. Now, and it's been a nightmare. This is where we chose to age in place. We lived next to or door to a quiet residential building. There was no hotel there. It's a big lie and a fabrication. I will tell you this: if two of the city council members who were on the city council who went behind closed doors and did this, lived in this building, we would not be living next to a hotel right now. They're safe in their rent-controlled buildings, and they went behind closed doors and basically voted to do this.
So that was
we are
then.
dealing with noise 24/7. We're living next door
Yeah,
to
I got you,
a
Laura. So
24/7
that was
business.
then. Now what's changed? What's
So
changed
the
now?
most recent thing is they've been bought out. I'll put a link in the message down here, which is a Facebook page that I created that you guys can all take a look at. It has all of the information there. It has letters that I've recently written to city council. They now are advertising that they're open to the public for a restaurant, which they're not allowed to be. And I did reach out to the city about that. First I called the hotel, and their brand new ownership, both management and employees lied to me and said that the city gave them permission to open to the public. And it was a complete lie. And there's a sign out there now because our friend took a picture of it just yesterday. And so 15 feet from our bedroom window, they're basically want to operate not only a restaurant now, but they're also advertising events. They're saying that they can have parties out in that front garden for up to 30 people. 8 people out there is so noisy, we cannot sleep. So the noise starts at 4 o'clock in the morning with people slamming their suitcases down the cobblestone road, the driveway or walkway, and horns honking, and that we have valet parking, and valet parking is taking public space for private profit.
I got you.
They're parking
Laura,
on the street.
I think, I want to, so essentially Laura's big fear is that now that this hotel has changed hands again, that they're going to try to expand the food service. That means more
It's not my
noise.
fear. It's a fact. They're already doing it.
No, I know,
Not
but
a
what
fear.
let me finish. So, right now they only they're going to serve food to the public, and I don't think they're supposed to do that. But
Not only that,
and
they're not even allowed to serve food in the
let
in
me
the
finish,
garden.
Laura. Let me just sort of nutshell it for you. Yeah, but they're also fear, what if they get a liquor license and there's going to be parties there essentially in a neighborhood all the time? So, you've started the letter process. I said maybe the rent control board can help you, or maybe code enforcement can tell you whether that if they're doing serving food to the public at a certain hours of the day, is that actually legal for them to do so, and what would happen if code enforcement went over there?
Well, the
What
city's
else?
already responded and said they are not allowed to serve to the public. I already know that, and they're still doing it. And not only are they not allowed to serve to the public, they're only allowed to serve in the lobby. They're not allowed to serve outdoors, but they do it every single day. And we're listening to
I see.
clanging
So
dishes all day long,
yeah. Well,
people
and
having
so
food.
I'm sorry. So they has code enforcement or a planning commission or anybody said that they cannot do that legally and they're
Yes,
violating the law?
yes.
And so now, and did you say what's going to happen? Are you going to go over there and
I
cite them?
replied with a whole bunch of questions and have not had any of my questions answered yet. And I have CC'd City Council and the Planning Department on it, and none of them have responded to me. Not one.
Well,
Not one. Just be clear that, and I just want to say this, for those of you who are on rent control board who are here, the rent control board, the contract was signed before they even had the public hearing to remove the building from rent control board. It was signed 8 days prior to the actual public process meeting to remove the building. So it's all a big joke. It's a complete illegal conversion of a rent control building into a hotel with no public process, no public notice, nothing. It even says it in the agreement that they have with the city that none of the neighbors were notified. So as far as I'm
Okay, Laura,
concerned, the building is still
thank you.
operating
So
illegally.
I got you. So
But I
you
need
know
people's
what?
support because I can't fight this alone. And basically, they have one parking space, and they want to have events there now. They want to have weddings, and it's ridiculous.
So
Go look at their website.
I get your thing. I'm not trying to interrupt you or anything, but I think Danny Ivanov is a rent control committee. Danny, can you respond to what should if you were Laura, what would you do?
Yeah, well, Laura, did you contact the agency? Did you call our staff at all?
And when it happened, yes, and then I was threatened, but that if I tried to file a lawsuit, that they were going to come after me and I was going to pay their legal fees.
Okay, so I think what should happen is,
So
Laura,
they were very adversarial. They were
I
not
understand, Laura.
helpful.
I understand. What I think you should do is contact the rent control board and see if they can help you in some fashion. And I don't want to.
They instead of being independent, they did what the city told them to do because they didn't want because the city was supposed to.
Well, you're saying did that happen 10 years ago or did it happen
That
yesterday?
happened. I don't know how long exactly ago that happened. It was 2008 when they did that, around
Okay, so
2008.
what I'm saying is things may have changed. There may be some other ways that you weren't aware of that maybe you can fight this a new way. I would contact the rent control board and see if they can help do this. And if it were me, I would CC the city council. Mayor, do you have a suggestion for her?
Yeah, Laura, hi. As soon as you emailed us the first time, I'm very, very familiar. Although I didn't live, I mean, I was at UCLA, but I didn't live here in 2008. I'm very familiar with the situation. I mean, I know that we've all learned about what happened. We have asked the city attorney and the city manager to investigate this and use the full authority of the administrative law to see what we can do. I'm sorry that no one has gotten back to you. I just asked them right now why they haven't because I've talked to them and I know that you're in a bad situation. I've actually had other individuals, not you, reach out to me about this as well. And I think we're just in like information gathering phase at this point. I'm sorry that no one's gotten back to you. That's all I can say. I think we're actively trying to see what we can do. But please know that we're not ignoring you. I just want you to know that.
Well, I just want people to know that when rent control was enacted in 1979, this building owners tried to say that they were a hotel because they didn't want to register their building under rent control. Well, they had a hearing, they had a public hearing, and they were unable to produce one piece of evidence that they were a hotel. And so they went under rent control.
Laura.
It was a rent control building for 30 years.
Well,
Now all
the
of a
reason
sudden it's a hotel. I mean, how does that happen?
No, I got you, Laura, and I feel your pain, but I brought you on this
This is the thing is,
Oh.
I don't think people do feel our pain because I can only stay in my home for maybe 5 days at a time and I have to leave.
Laura,
Because
I
after
get
5
it.
days of not
I
sleeping,
get Laura,
and being woken
Laura,
up all night long with people.
Laura, I get it. Okay, sorry to mute you, but but I wanted to hear from some city officials about what you could do next, your next steps to solve this. And I think, the mayor and a member of the rent control board have given you something to go with. And I wish we had more time, but we don't have any more time. And I really thank you for being here. And Good luck, and maybe we can talk about this at another meeting. But I appreciate it. Thank
Okay,
you.
obviously I'm very passionate about it because we are senior citizens. My husband's 73. Lack of sleep is really killing us.
I understand. I understand. But I thank you for showing up tonight. And
Matt
I
wants to
think,
say one thing.
I just want to say
yes,
we got
Matt.
confirmation from the city that they were not allowed to serve. And for years now, they've been serving right below our bedroom window from 8 in the morning all day. People yakking on their cell phones with the speaker on. It's just been pretty intolerant.
Then if
You guys, I'm sorry. I don't want to cut you off, but I got the scenario, and we're moving forward and trying to find a solution, and that's where we're going to leave it right now. So I
we
believe.
appreciate the time. Thank you.
And sorry,
Right,
I
thank
just
you.
got some confirmation from our city attorney that Jing has been in contact with you. And if she hasn't, let me know. No, she has not. Okay, let me know. And then our code enforcement team is also working on this. So just let's keep in contact, and we hear you. Just want you to know that.
So mission accomplished because of a little appearance on the Wilshire Montana Neighborhood Coalition meeting. I wanted to bring in Jenny Rice. Jenny, are you with us?
Hi.
So Jenny Rice is the promoter who's putting on this Art on Ocean event. And hi, Jen. And she's going to tell us a little bit about it. And as you speak, I'll probably put up the flyer or our website so they can see. Go tell us all about it.
Sure.
And then I believe Kathy Taylor is here with the fire department. Kathy, are you still here?
I'm still here, but I need to go soon. So if I can just kind of share
5 minutes. Yes, yeah, 5 minutes, and I'll be with
Kathy
you.
can go first.
Yeah,
Thank
go
you.
ahead,
I
Kathy.
appreciate it. Thank you so much. I'm sorry. It's been a lot of preparation that has gone through with fire service day that's coming up on Saturday, and I want to make sure that everybody gets an invitation to come out. We're going to be having fire service day from 10 to 1, and we would love for everybody to come and enjoy the festivities. We have the block actually blocked off with about 27 vendors and booths. And would love to, have you all join. So thank you so much. I'm sorry to be rushed, but I'm just, been at work since about 6 o'clock this morning.
Kathy, I'm so sorry. And I put up the screen, I put Fire Service Day. If you go to wilmont.org or the Santa Monica Fire Department website, there's a nice little notice about what's going to happen. It's Saturday, May 9th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Did I get the hours right?
Yes, and we have some, we've been doing a lot with our advanced provider unit, with our ambulance operator program, and I just wanted to make sure that you guys all, if you want to learn more about what we're doing, our nurse practitioners are running 7 days a week. We're doing a lot of really great work with the realignment plan, and so we really love for you guys to come. We're going to have a car getting cut up in front. We'll have our new peer support dog, Asta, there. And, you might even get a special guest appearance from Smokey Bears with all this wildfire preparation, but there's going to be a lot of things going on. All right. So I hope to see you all there. Bye-bye.
All right. And again, I put a link to the information on our website, wilmont.org. Look for Fire Service Day, and you just click the headline. If you see an underline on the website, just click the headline and you'll get the story. I'm going to stop sharing, and then Kathy, and I apologize. I got to work it out a little better. We had this big city council thing, so I thought you were not appearing this month, but we'll get you in next month for sure, okay? And we'll get you in earlier.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
We appreciate you, and especially after what we saw like a year and a half ago. Anyways, Jenny, you still here with us?
I'm still here.
All right, so go ahead and talk about the event that's coming up and why it's so special.
Yes, Art on Ocean. I live in Wilmont, and I'm an event producer, and I work with a lot of the neighborhood groups. I organize the 4th of July parade, the summer solstice on Main Street, and I'm excited to do something where I live in Palisades Park. I also had a really great partnership with OPA in doing some movie screenings during our open street events. So I was especially excited to hear about the opportunity to do that with Wilmont. Our event is on August 8th, and it's going to be on Ocean Avenue from Montana Avenue to California. The street will be closed to cars. and it runs from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. And then ideally, we would align with your group to have the movie in the park side from 6 p.m. onward.
Great. So, and that's what the plan. So it's going to be a full day, and this is like the first year for the Art on Ocean event. And of course, if it's Montana to California, that's all Wilmont. So, we'll be there with a table, and we'll have people handing out stuff and some swag and meeting people, and then we'll have our band, a couple bands show up later in the like around 5-ish, 6-ish. And then the movie people come in around 7:30-ish, and we'll have a movie there right in Palisades Park. We'll probably set up somewhere closer to Montana. So there's a little spot near the restrooms, and it's a pretty nice spot. So anything else, Jen?
I don't have anything to add if anybody has any questions.
Anybody have any questions about Art on Ocean? It's going to be pretty cool. I mean, if you guys like, I think Rachel and some of the board members and Rosemary and some other of us, we're at the Art Walk on Montana. We're going to be there later in the year, but we're going to be at this 8/8. Just remember 8/8, and hopefully don't show up at Reed Park for our second Saturday celebration because it's not going to be there. What else? So I kind of want to do a little. I got this Wilmont hat. Everybody think of a number between 1 and 100. If you want the Wilmont hat, just think of a number and I'll write one down. And we'll get to that at the very end of the meeting. But we're trying to come up with some 3 good movies to show in the park. And if anyone has, there's a lot of people with kids here. Could you just, is there any suggestions for movies in the park that we might want to have this summer? Anybody? We've done Sandlot, we've done Princess Bride, we've done Finding Nemo. Anybody else have some input about anything movie-wise? Is there a favorite that you really love? Even it doesn't have to be like a 5-year-old movie. It could be like a movie for teens, like Raiders of the Lost Ark or something. Any takers? Just
Back
raise
to
your
the
hand.
Future. Any Back to the Future?
Back to the Future. Well, it actually came up.
We
'cause
have a
it's kind of
resident who is the actress from Back to the Future too that could probably be there.
Oh, that'd be fun. Anybody else? Come on, guys. We've seen
Yeah,
movies.
someone wrote Goonies. Goonies is a good one.
Goonies. Yeah. And you guys, I'm not in the chat because I got to turn off that.
No.
Anybody else? Come on.
The Smurfs. The Smurfs.
The Smurfs. Is that Erica?
Yes, it is.
My
Is it
daughter
the
says
original?
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, the original.
Is the original. So I kind of like that Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Okay. I like the originals. If you do like, Shrek 10, what about Shrek? Nah? Anybody else? So yeah, we're coming up on 8:30. So at 8:30, what we usually do, if there's people that want to talk about issues, there might be, we'll leave it open as long as people want to talk about if they have questions about anything in the city. Does anybody want the Wilmont hat?
Yes.
Give me a number. Who wants the Wilmont hat? Give me a number.
Do we just shout it
22.
out?
Okay, wait.
76.
So who said 22? That's Lana?
Lana. Yeah.
Okay. Who's next?
17.
What is that, Erica?
17.
17?
I yelled 76.
76. Who's got 76?
Jenny.
Jenny?
I go with
Okay.
6,
Jenny.
7.
Wait. Hang
6,
on.
7.
Who's got 6, 7?
Eli.
Eli, 6, 7? Who else?
I'm going to say 6-2.
62? Who's that?
Rachel.
Rachel. Who else?
13, Danny.
Danny Ivanov, 13.
33, 33, John Medlin.
John Medlin, 33. John, I owe you a hat. You won one time. I haven't given you your hat yet. I owe you. I'll save one for you. I promise. I'll bring it to your house, or
Maybe I'll win too.
Okay. Anybody else in for the hat? Okay. The number was 5. So that means 13, Danny Ivanov wins. Danny,
Wow.
I'll get this to you when I see you. Maybe I'll bring it to the next council meeting. Maybe I'll run into you then, or we'll make arrangements.
Sounds great.
You guys, so that's our meeting for tonight, and I really appreciate all the candidates for showing up. I'm sorry if I was, short with people, but we got to keep it moving. Larry King doesn't screw around, and he's no longer with us. So,
Good job, John.
anyways, anybody want to stick around and talk issues, or if you have a question about something, Wilmont or not? If not, we'll just say goodbye and we'll see you next month.
Thank you, John. You did a great job. I want to say that. And thanks
I
for reeling
appreciate
me in when I needed it.
I appreciate and Laura, I appreciate you for sticking up. I mean, she's been dealing with this for like 10 years. And there's a new chapter. There's always, it's like you peel an onion, the more you get to the middle, the more you cry, right? But at least I think that you came away from this meeting tonight with a little bit more hope in your sails. And that's the whole idea. You talk about something, you raise an issue, people start working on it, and maybe you get some results. And with that in mind, I just want to thank everybody for coming, and we'll talk to you soon. And thanks,
May I
Rachel.
just ask a quick question? It's my first meeting and I couldn't figure out how to raise my hand.
Oh,
But
Laura, it's real easy. You go down to, where it says chat.
yes.
You go there and you press that chat thing, and it gives you a little thing, and you say raise hand. But go ahead. What's your question?
Okay. I just wanted to know what the latest status is on what's going on with development at 413 and 825 Ocean, and also the Miramar project on Ocean and Second.
Well, I can answer both those questions.
Okay.
The 413 and 825, 840, 825 projects, those were the council, the LA County killed that idea. So they're not going forward
Good.
For those two projects. As for what was the other question? Oh, the Miramar.
Miramar, because I just got
I
something
think
in the mail about that being extended.
Well, I think what happened was the Miramar, they for whatever reason they are delaying their construction and they don't have the full permit yet. But I think that because of the uncertainty over the economy and of tourism, and they've decided to hold off on going forward with that project, even though the council approved it. The council approved the Miramar project by a 4-2 vote exactly 2 weeks before the 2020 election, I believe it was. And 3 of the 4 people that voted for the Miramar project were defeated in that election. So I think the Miramar is to TBA. We don't really know what the status is. I think it's going forward, but I think it's been suspended for a while because maybe it just doesn't pencil out like they thought it would when they conceived it several years ago. If anybody has any more information about the Miramar, fire away. If not, anybody else? And Laura, thanks for raising your hand and sticking up, and welcome to. You should, if you're not a member, you should join us. We're only $5 a year.
No, I am a member. That's how I got the email, but I
Oh,
just never
great.
showed up.
Oh, I'm so glad. I'm glad that you did, and show up more often. We need people. Anybody else got something? Just want to remind everybody that, democracy is not what do they say? It's a participatory. You got to pay it. There's a lot going on politically in 2026, nationally and statewide. We got, tonight was the gubernatorial election or the debate. We all know what's going on nationally and locally and in statewide. It takes a lot to keep up. Betsy, you had a question? You have to unmute, Bets.
I'm unmuting. Hi.
There you go.
Is our mayor still on?
Is our mayor still on? I think she left.
Oh, okay. And then
Ask anyway.
well, it was just that she said that our libraries are open. I think she means that each branch is open, but we certainly don't have the full, we don't have the full hours that we used to have. We still
Yeah,
only have
you're absolutely right. But at least every branch is open at least 3 days a week, which is
Right.
better than
nothing, but yeah.
yeah.
It's still not.
It's pretty interesting. I don't think it's going to be I don't think that's going to change for a while, but it's ironic that Jesse Zwick was the one that brought up the idea of selling off
Right.
properties like the
Yeah.
Fairview Library.
Yeah.
But if he hadn't have brought up that issue, the community really rallied and to save that library. If he hadn't have brought up that issue, we might not have all the libraries open. I just think it's kind of ironic that,
Yeah, that's
things
right.
happen, maybe things happen for a reason. Anyways,
Okay.
Rosemary, you got a question. Go ahead and unmute and fire away. Do you know how to unmute, Rosemary? Rosemary,
Can
there
you hear
go.
me? Can you hear
We
me
got you
now?
now. We got you now.
Okay. Laura, are you still on?
Laura's still
Is-
on.
Are you talking Laura Wilson or?
Laura
Yes.
Wilson.
Yes, I'm here.
Hi, Laura. It's Rosemary.
Hi, Rosemary.
Laura used to be on our board a long time
Yes.
ago. And I can't believe you're still having this problem, which you had way back when. And I thought you kind of got it resolved. I feel so sorry that you're still going through this. But every time we had a tabling, Laura was there. She'd bike in and help us out. So she's a trooper. And I'm so sorry you guys are still having this problem. But
Thank
maybe
you.
now,
Laura,
maybe you can get some solutions for you.
I sure hope so, Laura. And see, we do feel your pain.
Yeah. The new management did call me and offered me discounts on food and drinks,
Oh, that's nice. Good. So
which I
Laura,
found exactly what
yeah.
I did. I laughed.
All
You
right.
know what you should do, Laura, is bring us all over there in troops and make them pay for all of us.
Hey, so Wendy Dembo is a Wilmont board member. Wendy, you had something to add, a question or something? Go
Oh,
ahead, Wendy.
I just in my one of my friends stayed at the Pally House and they charge $75 a night for parking. And if you get a ticket, they pay for it, so you don't even know you had a ticket. But if not, they pocket
And they're
the
parking them on the
$75.
street. They're parking
So
people's cars on the street.
right. So I mean, I don't understand. I know Natalia and Alice are there. I would send somebody to ticket every night at midnight and make some money for the city because we need more money. And I
No,
think
they
that's
have
also
parking
happening
passes.
at they
They
don't
have
have
parking
passes.
passes.
They don't have them for enough for all the cars.
They have 58 of them. They should have plenty for the cars. And they're not supposed to park them on the street. They're
So they
supposed
have,
to,
wait, can I ask a question? So
Yeah.
Wendy, so Laura, do they have 58 parking spaces somewhere else? Or do they
no,
get
they don't.
50?
I don't know where they park so I read the contract for parking. The valet is supposed to have off-street parking. They're supposed to take the cars to off-street parking. When they first started, they only had 10 off-street parking spaces at 5th and Wilshire. I don't know where they're taking the cars now. I see them parking them directly on the street. So
Well,
I
they're parking
I
them
actually
somewhere.
see,
I was curious as
They
if
park them on the street.
yeah, but then they need to print out those temporary permits,
no,
right? I
they
don't,
have the hanging chads. They have the guest hanging chads that all of us have.
oh, so that what they did was they bought a bunch of
Correct.
visitor
They have
parking
visitor
passes.
passes. And they're
Interesting.
parking people's cars on the street, and then they're charging. So basically they're taking public parking for private profit. That's what they're doing.
I understand. Well, I think that's one of the things that you should take up with code enforcement because I listen from
You think
what I heard from what I heard just tonight. What I heard just
Yeah.
tonight, I think they're going to get in trouble for parking, food, but I wish you luck.
Yeah, I
Anybody
complain
else?
till I'm red in the face, believe me.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, Laura, I worked in news a long time. I
Yeah.
mean, the mayor said that she's looking into it. Jing, the chief planning person at the is looking into it. You got code enforcement on it, and we had a rent control board commissioner or two that said, contact them. So I think there's some a positive development here, and I hope it all works out.
I
And
appreciate your help.
We'll bring you back and we'll talk about it again another time.
Thanks,
Anybody
John.
else want to talk city for a little longer and then we'll just say goodnight.
I think Laura's husband talks too much.
Laura's husband.
He's
Yeah,
talking
I
about
know. Yeah,
Matt.
Matt is such he's a party animal. I know. Dennis, how are you doing? You didn't ask a question today.
No, I'm just listening and trying to learn.
How
By
many
the way,
years have you been a member?
I live in an apartment building with Derek Townsend. So I've known him for years, and he's a really good guy. He's
All right.
very compassionate.
Elizabeth Lair, I think she's a Wilmont member, aren't you, Elizabeth? You have a question?
Not yet,
Something?
but I will be. I will join. I'm a Noma.
Right.
I'm a Noma resident.
Oh,
Um,
that's right. Okay.
I just have a question. How long until there could be more city council candidates? Is that true? What's the deadline?
Well, the deadline is always it's what's going to happen is it comes in July or August, and what happens is um, there's a period where every candidate has to get at least 100 signatures of voters in Santa Monica, and they has to be certified, and then they're in the race for officially. But what happens if any incumbent decides not to run? I mean, we've heard from Lana tonight, we've heard from Carolyn tonight. We have not heard, and I invited Jesse's because he's an incumbent and he could still run for reelection, but there's indications that he will not do that. He has the big conflict of interest with his job with a housing agency. And so if he decides not to run, that whole registration period will be extended by 2 weeks. So you could think that the deadline's coming up, and then if the deadline passes and Jesse Zwick did not seek reelection, people would have 2 more weeks to submit papers and run for city council. The thing we're watching on, and I pointed out at the beginning from the website, there's that article about the city council race. And if you read that article, the real key things to watch is when Santa Monicans for Renters' Rights and when the Santa Monica Dem Club decides to hold their convention to decide who to endorse for city council. And they'll be conducting interviews, both the Dem Club and SMER, and who they nominate, who they endorse. If they endorse, they have to have a certain percentage of people endorse their three people. Last time, 2 years ago, 4 candidates were endorsed by the Dem Club. The same 4 were endorsed by SMER and by SEPS, and Ellis Raskin, Natalia Zernitskaya, and Dan Hall, and excuse me, those 4 candidates all won, and Barry Snell. So the last time SMER was 4 for 4. The Dem Club was 4 for 4. And we'll see when their convention is. And a lot of people who are here tonight, I think Rachel's a member of SMER. I'm a member of SMER and the Dem Club. And I've always encouraged everyone to join both organizations, because if you want to say in who they endorse, you need to be a member. And you have to do so before. You can't just do it the day of a convention and then show up and vote for somebody. You have to be a standing member for at least a month, I think, for the SMER bylaws. And I'm not sure about the Dem Club, but I think it's similar. I hope that answers your question. Well, you guys, anything else?
When
Go
is the
ahead.
city council election?
The city council election is in November, and I believe it is November 4th.
Oh,
But
okay.
so it's in November, and it's the same day as the all the big congressional races.
Oh, okay.
And California has we have a primary coming up in June, and if you guys read up on the governor's race, because I mean, like probably the leading contender, Eric Swalwell, Congressman Swalwell, pulled out of the race over allegations of sexual misconduct. And so the race is kind of wide open. And remember that California has the top 2 primary system, where the top 2 finishers in any race face off in November. And that means you could have 2 Democrats at the top of the race, or you could have 2 Republicans. And I think a lot of the recent polling shows that there's only 2 Republicans, really main Republicans, in the race, and there's 6 or 7 main Democrats. And there's a chance that because of the 2 Republicans, there's only 2 of them, that they could actually poll 1 and 2 in the election, in the primary, and then they would face off. 2 Republicans would face off against each other to be governor of California. So it's very intriguing in that way. Anyways, guys, anybody else? we've talked enough for one night, and I really appreciate everybody showing up and being so respectful and letting us have a good, at least a way to a toe dip for the candidates. At least you got a chance to see them, who they are, and hear from them a little bit, and a few questions.